All right, you're live, Toast.
Welcome back, everybody. Good to see you. As always, got to give it a couple seconds for the ads to run. As Sauce always says, got to pay the bills. Got to pay the bills. So really quickly, yesterday I gave out some free plays. They were crap. Couple weird losers, but it is what it is. Yankees found a way to choke. A couple other things, but we got a new day today. I actually huge card today. Lots of cool spots to take a look at. Can't win them all. Can't win them all. So let's just start off right here. We got this first game, Giants at Cubs, and right off the bat, as a situational guy, as myself is, Giants in a horrible spot right here. So right off the bat, I'm trying to find a way to look to the Cubs, and then as soon as I see Drew Smiley on the mound for them, it's almost like a play on. So I'm going to take the extra insurance and take the Cubs plus 1.5 at minus 135, and here's why. San Francisco traveled to Milwaukee. They played 2 games yesterday. They got beaten both games yesterday. Then they had to get on a bus for 0.75 units, Sauce. Then they had to get on a bus and travel to Chicago and then play an early game here. Cubs, Drew Smiley, if you take a look at what he's been doing, I mean, I don't want to say that he's been lights out because he hasn't been lights out, but if you just take away his last start against the Cubs, against the Cardinals, where he got absolutely rocked, against the Brewers, the Cardinals again, the Nationals, the Reds, the Marlins, all those teams looked very, very good. I will say that he did have a little bit of trouble against San Francisco in San Francisco, but he does pitch much better at home. And like I said, I just hate the spot for the Giants here today. I understand Rendon's on the mound. I don't expect a lot of scoring in this game, so I wouldn't hate an under, but I just really don't like playing unders in Wrigley or in Chicago in general. So, yeah, I'm going to take the 1.5 with the Cubs. I wouldn't hate the money line, but like I said, with Rendon and just the Cubs aren't the best team as far as winning games, I'm just going to take the insurance. And like I said, minus 135, that's cheaper than the Giants money line. So I'll take the 1.5 with the home team right here. Next game up is going to be the Cardinals and the Pirates. Man, the Cardinals, man, yesterday. Well, I think they should have lost back-to-back games. They didn't. They ended up winning five or six runs in the ninth inning on Wednesday. In coming back and win. Thank God that essentially like saved my day because I had like 2 or 3 parlays connected to them. I didn't think it was a shot in hell that they would lose, but then they come back the next day with Waino on the mound. Another thing where I played them on the money line, didn't play the run line with them, and they lost yesterday. The Nats really got to them. Now they travel to St. Louis. Now St. Louis travels to Pittsburgh. And Roansy Contreras is pitching for Pittsburgh, and he's been a breath of fresh air for them as well. If you take a look at his last, 7 starts, I mean, he's been really good for them. The only team to really touch him up was Milwaukee. Boston put up 4 on him. But the bet for me here is I'm going to be doing a St. Louis Cardinals, Houston Astros money line parlay. That's coming back at plus 116. I'm going to do it for a half a unit. I'll talk about the Astros later, but this bet is more of a bet on the Cardinals winning a game against a bad team in the Pirates. Miles Michaelis has been really, really good for them this year. He had a couple rough starts in his last 4 or 5 outings against the Reds and the Cubs, but his last start against Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, he went 8 2/3, gave up 1 hit. All of his starts in Pittsburgh has been really good. The Cardinals off a loss. I just think it's really, I have a hard time seeing them losing this game against a Pittsburgh team that just really can't get out of their own way. 3-7 their last 10, 5-15 their last 20. Just not a good team playing baseball right here. So that's how I'm going to approach this game. Next game up is going to be the Mets and the Marlins. The Mets continued to screw me. They didn't play yesterday, so there's nothing they could do. But I didn't touch them in the doubleheader just because I really don't like playing doubleheaders. And of course, they look fantastic in the doubleheader, winning a total in those 2 games. They won 15-1 combined. Now they go into Miami and face my boy, Edward Cabrera, who, again, just like a couple other guys I've talked about, has been fantastic. One bad start against the Dodgers. Besides that, it's zeros across the board. Atlanta did get one across against him. I don't want to play on the fish here today, but I do like the first 5 under. So I'm going to go first 5 under 4 at minus 115 for 0.75 units. I think that Cabrera can hold the Mets bats down long enough. I mean, he showed, obviously against the Dodgers, that was his only bad start, but he has faced other good teams as well, like the Phillies and the Braves twice. So first 5 under 4 minus 115. First 5 minus 4 under first 5 minus Jesus Christ under 4 minus 115 for 0.75 units. Sorry. I was reading and trying to talk at the same time. But either way, David Peterson hasn't been great for the Mets, but he also hasn't been horrible. It's an average of 2 or 3 runs a night. But if you add on the fact that the Fish just can't score to save their lives, I really think this is like a 2-1, 3-0 game as we go into the 6th with the Mets. So first 5 under for me. I just don't really want to play on the Mets money line and kind of priced out, especially with Cabrera on the mound for the Fish. Next one up, we got a nice little AL East battle with the Orioles and the Red Sox. Really excited for this game. There's a couple of games I'm really excited about as we get into closer to October, but Red Sox and Orioles, I'm taking the Orioles, man. Orioles on the money line at minus 120 for a full unit. Austin Voth. If you don't know who Austin Voth is right now, you should probably look him up and take a chance to understand what this kid has been able to do. Lights out. Last time against Oakland, he came out early. He went 3 1/3 and only gave up a run, but went into the juice box against the bad guys, pitched 6 innings, only gave up a run. Against the White Sox, he went 6 innings, only gave up 2 runs. The Blue Jays and the Rays, he went a combined 11 innings and only gave up 2 runs. We all know how good Baltimore plays at home. Not to mention the fact that Brian Bello is a kid that I actually don't think is as bad as some of his numbers has shown. He's coming off a really good performance against Texas, where he went 6 innings and didn't give up a run. Still hasn't given up a home run in the major leagues this year, but that's where his numbers start to kind of can fool you. Cause if you look at like his game logs and just like nothing extra, just home runs, walks, strikeouts, really good numbers. I mean, he gives up some runs, but then if you look at his peripherals and his hard hit rate, it's pretty damn bad. Like a 45% hard hit rate. So the fact that he hasn't given up a home run yet is kind of appalling to me. Starting to go a little bit longer into games. He was only going 4 or 5. Like I said, he did work 6 his last time out. So don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but I do know that I just cannot trust this Boston team right now. I think this is a little bit too much of a price with Baltimore right here. In my head, when I was doing these and looking these last night before I went to bed, I thought Baltimore would be around 130, 135. So the fact that they're down that minus 120, I think that's a lot of value here on the Orioles today. So I'm definitely going to take a swing with the Orioles today.
Beaver is here. He's editing. We're doing college football videos over here. So he's editing. I'm taking over the producing duties for the day.
Yeah, guys, lots of stuff going on at the network. I mean, I got a live show. Sauce is going to be having live shows. Sean Redden's got a live show. Beaver's got prop videos coming out. Not to mention, I know that him and Sean and Sauce are all doing videos right now for college football. Lots of stuff going on. Really exciting stuff. Anywho, next game, Rays, Yankees, another AL East battle. This one, another game. I'm glad I have multiple TVs because another great game. Drew Rasmussen, Frankie Montas. I might come back to regret this, but I'm on the Yankees today. I'm on the Yankees minus 105. Yankees money line minus 105 for 0.75 units. Are the Rays hot? They're hot. They're hot right now. Yeah, they are. 8-2 their last 10, 15-5 their last 20. Here's my issue with the Rays. They have been playing really good teams, Boston, New York, all that good stuff. But Rasmussen isn't the same guy on the road at all. It almost balloons up to like almost 2 runs more on the road, not to mention the fact that he just had a baby. And take it from somebody that just had a baby, that's a lot of work. You get tired. Every day is a struggle. I don't like the fact that he's on the road. He just missed a start. He just had a baby. All on top of all of that, most of the people, a lot of the money, I think almost 70% of the money is on the Rays, which I get. They're the hotter team right now. I thought that the Yankees would get Stanton back today. Let's double check that to see if they've posted that lineup because I'm pretty sure he's going to be back today. Give me that, Stanton. No Stanton today. Judge, Torres, Hicks, IKF, and Duhar, Cabrera, Peraza, Higashioka, and Gonzalez. Still on the Yankees, guys. I think that Stanton was going to pinch hit somewhere in there. He pinch hit last night, but we haven't seen a vintage Frankie Montas performance yet. We saw him coming back when we first saw him with the Yankees. We saw him coming back off the injury. He didn't look good. Off the bereavement list and injury. And then he doesn't look good against St. Louis. He looked okay against Boston. Toronto killed him. But he's looked better and better and better. Tampa Bay did just see him, but honestly, it doesn't really worry me because every time that he started against Tampa Bay in the last 2 years, and that's 5 of them, they've only scored over 2 runs once. And he's going over 5 innings plus in all of those starts. So the fact that they just saw him holds me off just a little bit, but I just think that the Yankees are getting slept on just a little bit here. I understand that they lost yesterday, but before that, they had won 4 in a row, just beating this Rays team. I understand that they didn't look good against the Rays in the Trop, but that's not this. This is a completely different story. A lot of people betting the Rays here today. I'm going to push back against that and take the home team. I guess you can't call them a dog because they're not really plus money, but essentially dogs. I'm taking the home dogs today in the Yanks. Next game up, Nationals and the Phillies. And man, the Nationals have been in my nightmares lately. It just seems like every time I bet against the Nationals, I lose. Well, guess what? I ain't doing it today. Screw the scumbag Phillies. Screw Thor. Give me the Washington Nationals team total over 3.5 at -110 for 0.75 units. And then give me the Washington Nationals money line at +165 for a half a unit as well. I'm not going to say the name that's on the mound because it's going to scare people away. I'm just going to tell you what he's done in his last couple starts. 7 innings, 3 hits against the Mets, 1 run. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run against the Reds. Goes on the road to San Diego, goes 5 1/3, does give up 9 hits, but only 2 runs. Against the Chicago Cubs, 6 innings, 4 runs. You know who that is? That's Patrick Corbin. Obviously he's been a gas can all year and he's horrible, but at the same time, he's pitching really well right now. And don't look now, but the Nationals bullpen over the last 30 days in WOBA and a lot of the FIP and a lot of those major statistics. I almost screwed up that one, but I said statistics. 8th. Phillies bullpen 20th in the last 30 days. I think I have a pitching advantage because, like I said, I mean, you guys know me. I am fade Thor all the way. Like I said, current form wise, I think we have a pitching advantage. I don't have to tell you how hot the Nats bats are. I mean, especially if you follow me or this channel, they're just rolling right now. So, bullpen, bats, starting pitching, all advantages. And oh, by the way, I'm getting +165. Hell yeah. I'm taking a shot with the Nats here today. No question. Next game up. Sorry, Sean. I know you're watching. Well, maybe you're not. You're editing, maybe. Blue Jays, Rangers. Probably the simplest handicap on the board for me today. Going to continue to ride my Blue Jays. Blue Jays money line -150 for a full unit. And then Blue Jays -1.5 at +110 for a half a unit. Blue Jays, one of the hotter teams in baseball right now. And if you follow me or whatnot, you're going to push back and say, Toast, you always say Toronto is bad on the road. That is a fact. But over the last, 14 games, Toronto's 12-2 on the road. So, and that's over the last about 30 days in general. So the fact that they're streaking at the right time, I like that. They're playing well at the right time. I understand how well Dane Dunning looks at home. But at the same time, I don't trust this Rangers team, for one. For two, as well as they do hit as well, they don't hit as righties definitely as well at all. I'm trying to find the number I had written down. There it is. 5th worst OPS against righties, 677. That's the Rangers. Stripling's been really a breath of fresh air for the Blue Jays all year. So it's hard to find a way to fade him. Like I said, Toronto just keeps on winning games. I'm going to continue to ride them. This was, like I said, this was one of the more simple handicaps for me. I think that we're getting a super cheap price because of how well Dunning has pitched at home this year. And I think just Toronto destroys them. If you want to play a Toronto team total over, I don't hate that either. But either way, I'm all over Toronto here in any way you can. Next game up, Kansas City Royals hosting the Detroit Tigers. Tigers got a win yesterday. Good for them. I loved Kansas City today. Absolutely love the Royals today. Give me the Royals on the money line at minus 135 for a full unit. First things first, the Tigers are just a straight up fade for me no matter what. Now they got a rookie lefty in Joey Wentz. It's only his 3rd start in the major leagues. We know how well the rookies play at home. The only thing that has me, I guess, a little bit off is Lynch, Daniel Lynch, who's going to be pitching for the Royals. I'm going to pull up his home numbers because it was actually not bad. If you take a look at what he's done against the road, because like I've said in the past, the Tigers versus left-handed pitching is usually a decent bet. But his last couple starts against Detroit at home, a total of 12 innings, only given up 2 runs on like 10 hits. So Daniel Lynch at home against the Tigers has actually been pretty damn decent. Not to mention the fact that both teams had the day off yesterday. The Tigers on the year, 4-12 with the day off. The Royals with the day off, 8-3. Give me the home team at a decent price against one of the teams I love fading the most, all over the Royals here today.
Yo, is Joey Wentz any relation to Commander Carson Wentz?
Probably not. I'm not sure though.
It's spelled the same, bro.
I know. Trust me, I thought of that too, but I had so much stuff going on, I couldn't deviate from the plan. I had to focus on the ticket. But I know exactly how you feel. Yeah, probably not though. That would be awesome though if it was. Like to find out that he had like a long lost MLB brother or something. Anyway, next game up, Reds, Brewers. Actually kind of surprised on this one. I don't really put like a lot of stock into like what DraftKings and shows as far as like percentage of bets, but 80% of the bets on Milwaukee here, like I just don't understand it. I'm all over the Reds here. Especially I'm just going to go the first 5 for the show. So Reds first 5 money line plus 105 for 0.75 units. Nick Lodolo, probably a name you should learn because over the next year or two, he's probably going to be one of those guys that could take off. Has looked really good. Goes deep into games, coming off a 6 innings performance against Colorado. Went up to the Nationals, went 7 innings, only gave up 3 runs. He went up to against the Phillies on the road, gave up 4 runs. But besides that, the start previous to that, he also faced the Phillies and went 7 innings and didn't give up a run. So on top of that, I really like the Reds' momentum right now. They've won 3 of the last 4 games. I understand they were playing the Cubs, but you play who you play. Yesterday, they were tied in the 8th inning. Seihei Suzuki comes up in the bottom of the 8th, hits a ding-dong. That doesn't rattle the Reds. They score 2 in the 9th. They win 4-3. Now they come in and face this Brewers team that's, honestly, guys, they're not even the same team. I think they're shook. I think they're dead in the water. 5-5 their last 10, 10-10 their last 20, 15-15 their last 30. This team just can't be trusted. They've won 2 of their last 4 games because of the doubleheader yesterday. But it's like I said, they just play essentially 500 baseball. They won 2 games yesterday. Oh, and by the way, the Royals the Brewers are one of the worst teams in the league, bottom 5 in the league against left-handed pitching. I think Lodolo looks really good. I don't trust the Brewers just farther than I can throw them. All over the Reds here today. I don't understand how this is plus money. I get it. It's the Reds versus the Brewers, but I don't understand how there's 80% of the money on the Brewers. That just kind of shocked me. So even more power to the Reds. Jay Rube's going to be over that, I bet. She loves her some Reds. Shout out Jay Rube, our tennis capper. Next game up, Guardians and Twins. And we got Dylan Bundy on the mound for the Twins at home. What's one thing Beaver taught us this year? You don't bet against Dylan Bundy at home, at least in the first 5. So I'm going to leave that alone. But I really like Cleveland, guys. Really like Cleveland here today. Give me Cleveland money line -105 for a full unit. First and foremost, Cal Quantrill, my dude. Fantastic. Been really, really good for Cleveland this year. 11-5 on the year. Keep in mind, last year he was 8-3 as well. So again, 19-8 over the last couple of years. Just one of the guys that I've really, really liked betting on. Again, go through his game logs. Didn't look good in Seattle his last time out. Only went 3 innings, but there was a rain delay and shit like that. I just kind of throw that out. Last couple ones before that, 6 innings against Boston, 1 run, 7 innings against the Padres, 0 runs. The Tigers of all teams got to him. It is what it is. But besides that, Blue Jays and Astros have combined 13 innings, 0 runs. Quantrill can ball. Minnesota, on the other hand, if you take away what Bundy does in the first 5, they're in a shitty spot. They just played 5 games in 4 days against the Yankees. Now they got to come back over here. I will say both of the bullpens are taxed. So I wouldn't mind a lean to the over. Like if you guys are gonna, because I always get questions like for SGPs, but I didn't play it myself because of the pitching. But like for instance, like Class A, everybody for Cleveland had the day off yesterday, but they had been worked in that Kansas City series a ton. So like Class A's worked for the last 5 days. The kid that does the Kremschek or whatever, you know, how he hits the ball. Oh my God, their setup guy. I can't think of his name, but either way, he's they all have worked for the last 5 days. So, I mean, they're all going to be able to pitch tonight because they had the day off yesterday. But, like, I don't know if, like, Class A is actually going to be available. But if you take a look at what the Twins are having to deal with, they've used, like, everybody. They used 4 of their last 4 or 5 guys yesterday. Like I said, they had a doubleheader the day before that. Just a horrible spot for the Twins, like I said. And, oh, by the way, they're coming home from a road trip. Just not a spot I want to get on with the Twins. I understand Cleveland hasn't looked fantastic lately, but this is a pretty important game for them. I like the fact that they've been on the road, stay on the road, some road warrior action all over the Indians today, or the Guardians, excuse me. Man, that's a fine. D-backs, Rockies. Man, this was another one that I guess I was pretty kind of surprised at the line, just because of how these teams have been playing. I'm on the Rockies plus money. Rockies money line plus 100 just for a half a unit, just because there's so many other games on the board here. But the Rockies the Diamondbacks are playing really good baseball right now. 6-4 their last 10, 12-8 their last 20. Coming off back-to-back losses against the Padres. But if you watch those games, they lost them in the 8th and 9th inning. I mean,
wait, hold up. Did you say you said I like the Rockies? Did you mean the Diamondbacks?
Yes. I apologize.
I thought so.
I said that wrong.
I thought I heard I like the Rockies. Maybe I'm bugging. All right, but it's Diamondbacks money line.
Diamondbacks money line. If I said it wrong, I apologize. I probably did. But either way, like I said, Diamondbacks lost 2 in a row to the Padres, and I think they should have won those games. Besides that, they were winning a lot of games against good teams like Phillies and the Brewers, which, again, I don't think those are great teams, but in the big scape of MLB, those are 2 decent teams. They're playing good baseball right now. I guess the Rockies at home with Marquez on the mound, but I like Marquez on the road more than I like him at home. So he does have decent numbers against Arizona, but these teams know each other really well. I just think that Arizona is the better baseball team right now. I think they're in better current form. Definitely think they have the better bats right now. So I'm taking the plus money with Arizona. Let's just hope that their bullpen doesn't blow it. Like I said, that's why it's only a half a unit with so many games on the board. But there's no way I'm laying it with the Rockies here, even with them at home. I don't see it, not at all. Next game on the board, we got the White Sox and the Royals. Damn. Last night, I should have bet the White Sox last night. I just didn't like Cease coming off of 2 really bad starts. I didn't think that the A's would win last night, but I didn't think that they would lose 17-0 or whatever the goddamn score was. either way, all over the White Sox here today. White Sox -1.5 at -110 for 0.75 units. As much as we've had fun on this show or whatever version of the show you watch with the three of us talking shit about Giolito, on the road, he's been really damn good. A lot of his last starts haven't been on the road, but his last two starts on the road, 6 1/3 against the Orioles, who were hot at the time, only 1 run, and then went to Texas, went 5 innings, and only gave up a run. White Sox, another one of those teams that are playing pretty decent baseball right now. 7-3 their last 10 games. They're really turned it on since they fired. Well, La Russa has his health issues. They've really turned it on. Again, they lost a tough game against Seattle 3-0, but they won 2 other games in that series. And like I said, they smoked Oakland yesterday. I think they continue to roll the day. And I'm going to continue to play against these bad teams like Oakland and Detroit. So again, all over all over the White Sox here today.
Real quick, someone in the comments wanted to know during the Arizona game if he wrote over 11 runs, but I had just checked and the total's at 10. Would you play the over? He wants to know.
I wouldn't know. Yeah, I also didn't look at that game a lot, but I actually think the pitching I don't really like the over at all there. So yeah, that's just a personal opinion though. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not great with totals. I can say that right now. Next game up, Padres Dodgers. Another super easy handicap. But I am going to talk about this game a little bit though. So obviously you already know what it is. Dodgers -1.5 plus 110 for a full unit. That was never a question. But I do want to make sure that everybody knows what's going on in this game. So we just saw this matchup the last time these two pitchers pitched. Clevenger, Clevenger and Dustin May. Here's the thing. I don't think that Dustin May is that bad. I think that he's coming back off an injury, a big injury, but he looked really bad against the Padres. I have a hard time that he looks that bad against them. Again, Clevenger, decent, but he got lit up by the Dodgers too. So, I mean, they ended up winning that game or whatnot, but I just think that the Dodgers are at plus money with this run line, with them being the away team. That was another thing that really helped me out. I mean, we're getting the Dodgers as the away team at plus money with this 1.5. So, like I said, if you don't like the Dodgers, if you're trying to figure out a play against them, don't take the 1.5 with the Padres. You take the money line because the Dodgers usually win by 2 when they do. So I know we have a couple new listeners, so I just want to make sure to throw that out there. But the Dodgers roll. I continue to play the Dodgers no matter what until they give me a reason otherwise. The Padres looked decent against the Diamondbacks in the box score. You see 6-3, 6-5 wins, but it took 9th inning comebacks in 2 of them. And then if you go back before that, they had been losing a couple games to these here Dodgers. So they got 1 game against the Dodgers, and that game was this Dustin May game. I think the Dodgers get a little bit of revenge here tonight. So Dodgers always, not that that's a shock to anybody. Last game on the board, another good. We have a lot of freaking good baseball games tonight. I understand it's football season and yada, 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 but I mean, there are some solid baseball games on tonight. Braves, Mariners. God, I wish I was there for this one. We got Uncle Charlie on the mound on the road versus Robbie Ray and the Mariners. Both teams playing really well right now. Mariners 8-2 their last 10, 14-6 their last 20. Braves 7-3 their last 10, 15-5 their last 20. Give me the home dog with the Mariners, baby. Mariners money line plus 100 for 0.75 units. A lot of people going to be betting the Braves here today, which I get it, but I've talked about this many times in the past. This isn't a big spot for Charlie Morton for me. And on top of that, and I should alleviate on that. I don't really like Charlie Morton unless it's a big game. Maybe against a Houston, a St. Louis and stuff like that. I can understand that. I don't think on the road on Seattle on a Friday night, you can consider that a big game. Maybe he gets up because he's pitching against a guy like Robbie Ray. But Charlie Morton, if you take a look at his last couple of starts on the road, I mean, he's given up 4 runs or more in 3 of the last 4 of them. So again, St. Louis, Boston, and Philadelphia, all decent hitting teams, but the Mariners at home are pretty damn decent as well. I understand that they can go up and down at times, but Robbie Ray, on the other hand, has been lights out. And that's legitimate, like lights out, lights out. 6 innings, no runs against Cleveland. 7 innings, no runs against Cleveland. 6 2/3 against Washington, only giving up a run. Those are his last 3. He's given up 2 runs or less in his last 5 starts. He's rolling right now. I also think that Seattle, probably this is the one game this series that they have a chance to win. I think Fried goes tomorrow. And then on Saturday, one of the big guns goes, or on Sunday. So I think this is the one game in this series that Seattle can definitely win. I think this is the only game this series that they have the pitching advantage in. So I'm going to take him at plus money. Yeah, I get it. Everybody's going to be taking the Braves at a cheap price, but I actually like the fact that we're getting Mariners at a plus price as a home dog, because it hasn't been a plus price all day. So we'll see what we get there, but I'm all over the Mariners here today. So that's that. That'll be the show. Didn't have a chance. There was a lot of games to cap today, and I got to do this, and I had to do VIP, so I didn't have a chance to do a hit parlay or the hit props and stuff. So I will be adding that to the VIP sheet. I will be having that out in the next half hour or so. I'm going to find a couple props and a hit parlay for you. But yeah, tomorrow, I don't know. Sauce, is Beaver okay tomorrow, or do you guys have lives for college football? I just wasn't sure. I guess I should have asked you
you
before.
might. There's a chance, depending on how we do. There's a chance you might have to take the day off from a live show. We'll see. We're doing videos on every single NFL game, so we're gonna have a busy Saturday afternoon.
Yep. So I'll tell you guys what, if I don't do a show because they're going to be doing a whole bunch of college football and NFL stuff, and trust me, if you see the views, that's what's important. I will do a spaces for sure. I'll make sure to post plays on my Twitter. So if you're watching this show, I'm sure you followed me on Twitter. I will make sure I take care of you if I do not have a live show tomorrow. So yeah, besides that, I will talk to you somehow, some way tomorrow. Hit me up on Twitter on DMs if you got any questions, comments, or concerns. I will talk to you guys later.
Everyone have themselves a good day.